Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome back to SimCity Cities of Tomorrow. I've literally just logged into my game and noticed I've got the little bulldozer icon down here, and I seem to have an entire area that is completely abandoned, devoured by zombies. We actually had too much crime on that one. But yes, most of these people were devoured by zombies. A little bit strange, but this is one of the things that can happen when you're not actually kind of playing the region. So we actually had a little bit of a disaster. I'm not sure what causes the zombies. I'm not sure whether that's one of the futuristic ones from the expansion or whether it was one of the original ones that were in there. I know most of the natural disasters that you get do require something to happen in the first place. So for example, I think in order to get the earthquake natural disaster, you actually have to mine a certain amount, and until you've mined that amount, you're usually safe from earthquakes and such like. Just trying to make sure we get all of these buildings if we can. Which one is it? That one there. So yeah, we got a lot of people devoured by zombies, but I think we've got all of those now. Sewage is saying there is a problem. We seem to have a deficit on sewage, which is a little bit strange. So what we will do, we're still short of workers, of course, which doesn't help. There were other things that I wanted to talk about before just jumping straight on and getting on with the city, but let's get that up and running anyway. Let's have a quick look at the disasters, because I haven't actually looked on there really. What have we got? So, yeah, some of these ones aren't approved. So the ones that we do have, tornadoes. Tornado is unlocked by having a certain amount of turbines in a wind farm, which we have done. Big lizard, which is basically like a Godzilla type thing. That's something to do with the garbage dump, and having a certain amount of garbage gets Godzilla. Earthquake is unlocked by having doing a certain amount of mining. Zombie attack. Now, we don't actually have the zombie attack unlocked. I don't know whether one of the other guys have, because there are other people in the region now, which is something I'm going to talk about in a little bit. UFO encounter, I believe, is something to do with having a nuclear power plant. Meteor strike, haven't a clue, can't remember. And Outworlder 6, again, haven't a clue, can't remember. I think that's actually one of the new ones. So, those are the disasters you can get. So things I wanted to talk about, first of all, it's been a few days since I did a SimCity video. I've been having a little bit of a break, a little bit of a rest. On top of that, as people in England have been very concerned over the last few days about a strange fireball that was sighted in the sky. Turns out it was the sun, so that's okay, apparently. At least I know what it looks like now, but decided to have a few days not sitting here getting a virtual tan in front of a computer monitor, and decided to have a day or two actually, you know, outside in fresh air and sunlight. But I'm back now. In the meantime, while I have been having myself a little holiday, what's going on here? Education. University. Obviously, someone has a Department of Education. Or did we build the Department of... No, we built the Department of Education. So we could have a university, but we're not going to. Anyway, enough rambling there. So what's been happening in the meantime is a couple of you have joined on to the region. I have sent out some invites. There's only 2 of you in so far. I know I have actually had more people who have asked to join, but so far I really haven't had many people. Let's go and have a quick look at the 2 people that we've got in. I could edit out the loading screens here, but I'm not going to, because I'm lazy. So first of all, we are going to go to Gnomeville by Leela Gnomes. Now, he's spent a little bit of time on this city, not as much as one of the other ones, but let's have a look what we've got. So we've got an ore mine working away here. Quite a lot of water production. Never really bothered doing that with water towers. I always tend to spread... I mean, I don't usually have a lot of water towers anyway. I do tend to spread mine out. The main reason I do that is because I find it's easier if you've got water flowing from different areas. It's not so bad in this particular case, of course, because it's quite a small... it's quite a small area. It's quite a small city. So water produced here will probably reach right across to the side of the map. But I do tend to find if you've got a big city and you've got all of your water pumps in one corner, it's very difficult for the water to actually reach over here, so I tend to try and spread them around. Got another mine up here, some coal up there, we've got some ore down here, and what have we got? Looks like a coal power plant, garbage dump, sewage treatment plant, so all of the nasty, dirty, smelly stuff out of the way. So I'm going to assume the wind's kind of blowing in this direction. And we've got a little bit of commerce and a bit of industry there. And a trade depot already, so I suppose that's a good thing for the coal and the ore. Might well be that some of this is coming my way, of that I am not too sure. Let's go back and have a look at the other city. Now remember, there are still spaces here. If you guys want to get on, you should know the drill by now. Send me a PM through YouTube. Remember to tell me why you would like to come and join the region. Also give me your origin username, because I need to add you to my friends list. Remember to accept the friends request, because there have been 1 or 2 of you that haven't. And then I will send you an invite to the region. Now I am playing on the Europe West 3 server, so you need to be prepared to play there, although there's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't. So we've got our other city here, which is Quasipolis. Or Quasipolis, and this is Quasibyte's city. Obviously, it's been going a little bit longer. He's been playing on here a lot more and putting a lot more time into this. 4.5 million simoleons, 166,000 sims. He's got 2 power crowns, 2 tourism crowns, and 2 advertising crowns. So I think we're going to see quite a lot of mega towers in here. Certainly more than I've got in any of my cities. So let's go and have a quick look at that. And then we'll go back to my city and see if we can iron the kinks out. I didn't want to come back in and jump straight on to working on my education city, because I thought it's been a few days since I've played. Thought I'd come in first and have a bit of a look and see what I'm doing. So it looks like he's got a bit of a zoning issue here. He's got a bit of a demand for industrial, but not much else. And he's losing money, but there again, probably actually making quite a lot of money from selling stuff. Quite a bit from mission rewards. His taxes are quite low. That's assuming this information I'm seeing here is correct. We've certainly got some very interesting things going on here. As you can see, we've got a number of standard and elite mega towers. We've got an awful lot of high capacity buildings, high density buildings going on here. And he has actually got the sky bridges, which is something that I do want to get up and running in my first city at some point. And these basically reduce congestion, because what you've got to remember is the number of people you get in one of these mega towers is absolutely huge compared to the people you get anywhere else. Now, I do remember seeing this city when he first started it, and I actually quite like what he did, because he took this sort of one long avenue and just made a huge circle all the way around the outside, and then a bit of a crisscross in the middle, and then built everything around that, which is probably a really good way to avoid congestion. And then there appears to be a maglev running pretty much the same route as the road system. And then you've got these sky bridges, which are specifically designed to allow you to get people from one mega tower to another. Now, you do need to actually have sky bridge stations, so you have got the issue that, well, that I'm going to have, that some of my already built towers are not going to be able to have the sky bridges without me at least knocking some of them down or building some more of them in. This is quite an interesting thing. This is a coaster crown. I wonder if that's one of the tourism crowns. That actually is quite cool. There's like a little roller coaster type thing running on the roof of that. Actually quite like that. We've got a solar power crown here that's running on battery power, because obviously it's quite dark at the moment. Lots of little drones and things flying around. Got a tourism tower up here. Looks like it's some sort of... let's turn the camera around so we can see. Looks like it's some sort of stadium, some sort of expo centre. I also noticed down here he's actually got the expo centre. So you can have events down here. As you can see, the way these work, you do need a certain amount of money to be able to put one of these on. So if you look at something like this, like the rock concert costs 45,000 simoleons to put it on. But if you can actually max out the number of people that attend, if you sell out the venue, you'll make 156,000 profit. So you triple your money. Well, actually you quadruple your money, because that's profit on top of what you've spent. So if you've got the money to spend on expo centres, you can make a huge amount of money there. We can see here he's got his... I actually saw the academy somewhere. No, that's not it. The academy was tucked away somewhere. These are the 3 upgrades for the academy. I did catch a glimpse of the academy somewhere, and now I can't. I've lost it amongst all the buildings. Oh, no, that's not the academy. Where is it? Ah, there's the academy there. So we've got the academy here, and then the upgrades for it are all kind of out here on the outside. He's currently researching the garbage atomizer, which is one of the things that I haven't researched yet. But no, that is a very, very nice looking city. I'm very impressed with that. I think if anything goes on to show you just what you can do with the Cities of Tomorrow expansion, these kind of futuristic cities, I think that is a very, very good example of it. Admittedly, I know that QuasiByte has had a lot more experience with Cities of Tomorrow than I have. He's certainly been playing it a lot more than I have. But that just goes to show, if you put the time and effort in, you can get some pretty amazing cities going on. So let's jump back to my city. If you remember, Voltopolis is my sort of production and trade and industry city where I wanted to have all of those sort of HQs, like the metals HQ and the trade HQ and stuff like that. We've also got our other cities, which I'm not currently working on at the moment. We've got our original city, which was Voltville, which is basically our main city for our population. And then I've got Voltford, which I haven't really done anything with yet, and Voltford is basically going to be our education and tourism city as well. But for the meantime, we are certainly going to carry on a little bit with Voltopolis and see if we can get stuff up and running here. Now, we did build another OmegaCo factory on the last video, because Omega was something that we were getting very, very short of. We're also very, very short of workers, which is still an absolutely colossal problem in this city, and that is something that I need to sort out as soon as possible. Now, I thought building mega towers might have helped, so we've certainly got a relatively decent population here. It isn't terrible by any stretch of the imagination, but unfortunately we just don't seem to be able to get many people in. We're also having terrible problem with traffic. Now, one thing that can help with traffic is buses, because buses do reduce the number of cars, so it's certainly worth considering that. Let's put a bus station in. I want to try and put it somewhere relatively non-obtrusive if I can. I don't have a great deal of space that we can utilise, but I think there is probably fine for a bus station. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to upgrade this, if I click on the right button. And we're going to put in a few extra garages, because we want to have quite a few buses running and really help with the congestion as much as we can. We're then going to put ourselves maybe a park and ride or two in. So, one at the entrance to the city. We will put a big one sort of down here near all of our industry, and probably one at the back here near the trade depot and the residential. And then the rest of the places we're just going to go around with bus stops and just sort of fill in all the gaps. Try and get green in as many areas as possible. And this will certainly... got a robbery in progress somewhere. But this should certainly help us with reducing our congestion. Now, I know we did put some streetcars in at some point. Now, somebody did mention that I'd actually missed upgrading one of the streets for streetcars, and therefore I have a little section that isn't quite joined up. So I'm going to see if I can find that. So let's quickly go back and look at... oh, let's press the right button for a start. Let's look at the roads and go to upgrading. So apparently there was just one tiny little bit that got missed, and it's kind of cut off from everywhere else. It's none of those bits. Not that bit. Not that bit. Not that bit. It's not that bit. Or there. Ah, there we go. Missed that bit off. Although that was the last little bit of avenue. And that bit as well. There we go. That's all of those done. That should mean the streetcars can get around a little bit better now. What's going on here at Maxis Manor? Right, what have we got to do here? I think this is where we have to buy him his car. If you've watched Maxis Man before, you'll notice that he was driving around in what looked like a little Mini, so a little old crapped out car. I need to get him to 125 renown points and arrest 3 more criminals, but I can add a turbo machine to the garage when I get to that point. I don't think I can do that yet, or maybe I can. No, need to get another 125 renown points, and then we can give him his better car. In the meantime, he's out and about on patrol, so we'll just leave him to carry on doing that. We're still making a decent amount of money. Certainly can't complain at that. It's probably time to get another production line put on this factory. Traffic is starting to get out of control. Instead of driving to the store, your city shoppers could send out drones. Instead of patrol cars in traffic, you could have OmegaCo law drones, blah, blah, blah. We do want drones. That is something we were working towards. So we need to add the robotics division to the OmegaQ HQ and then make a drone assembly line to an OmegaCo factory. You also need to supply processes to the factory to begin manufacturing the drone. So there's quite a few bits and pieces that we need to do here. So first of all, let us have a look. Can we actually build the robotics division? No, we can't do that at the minute because we need to collect more franchise profits before we're able to do that. So we are going to have to put another production line or two on. We've certainly got a decent amount of oil and ore coming in now, so that certainly helps. So let us get ourselves another production line on there or two. What have we got going on here? Metals HQ, still need quite a bit more daily profit before we can do that. We're not too far off the next upgrade for Omega actually. We're actually doing very well with that. And the trading HQ, not terribly far behind either. So we certainly have options. Let's speed things up a little bit. But yes, I certainly agree that traffic is an issue. I mean, really, around here, the traffic is absolutely terrible. And again, I think this is partially because of the pathfinding that this game uses. Junctions just don't really seem to work properly. Everything seems to get stuck. And it all queues up. You can see all of these vehicles here. These trucks are just passing through the region, but they hardly ever move. They sit for so long in traffic. It takes them so long to get anywhere. It's absolutely ridiculous. So what have we got going on here at the police station? Let's just have a look at that. Not keeping up with crime in the city. Another patrol car lot. Yeah, I can live with that. Certainly help out. Of course, the big problem you've got, of course, is the fact that the police station is on a very, very busy road, and it's probably impossible for them actually to get to any crimes because, well, let's face it, the traffic's just absolutely gridlock outside the front of the police station. So not a lot that I can do about that. How are we getting on with the OmegaCo? Still not quite there yet. We need less than an extra 2,000 simoleons as hourly profit to be able to add that upgrade. Still got a fair bit of money in the bank, so we are happy with that. Let's check power. We still have an excess. Water, we still have an excess. Everything else is good. Police are crying about something else. Expand the police force, which we have done. It's pretty much impossible to keep on top of everything, but we do as much as we can. We've arrested 0 more criminals. Okay. Oh, they want us to plop a police precinct. It's actually not a bad idea given how terrible crime seems to be around here. So what I'm going to do, I think, we can certainly afford it. We're going to put the police precinct on this side because we don't really need to expand this town hall anymore. As soon as this police precinct's up and running, we'll get rid of the old one. We will put a couple of upgrades here. We will put the dispatch tower so we can get them out quicker. We're going to put a fair few more cars on. We're going to have spaces for drones. We'll have a crime prevention centre. We'll also have a detective wing, which we'll stick on the back, and we'll have some extra jail cells as well. That's pretty much ready to go. And so as soon as it's staffed, we will get rid of this one. Maxis Man, can we send you out again yet? I'm going to get your little side quests done as quickly as possible. I always lose Maxis Manor. I can never remember where it is. Which brings me to the question, where is it? Ah, there it is. Save injured. Maybe we've already done that quest now. We still need more renown points, so we'll keep sending him out to do stuff. He's very, very close now. He only needs 25 more, so that's not too bad. Still quite good on money, so I'm happy with that. OmegaCo is closed, now hiring. We are actually that short of residents, which is not a good thing at all. Okay, we're going to have to upgrade some of these roads. We are really, really struggling at the moment to to keep population up, which is strange because we have all these houses here that are actually high density, or at least medium density, but they are just not growing. So I think what we need to do is get a little bit more happiness going. Build a recycling centre. We will do at some point because we would like to do processors, but we're not going to do that right now. We'll see if we can put a park or something in somewhere to actually increase happiness a little bit more. Maybe this will give us a bit more growth. So we'll see if we can do that. We certainly need to have a think about getting some more residential area in here, because I think this is partly what the problem is at the moment. So let's slow things down again for a few seconds. And let's get a road in. We're going to struggle doing anything there, aren't we? Where can we try and squeeze some residential in? I suppose we could try and put some in here at the back of this industrial. I mean, it's not ideal. Why won't that go in a straight line where I want it to? Oh, we'll just put it there. It's certainly not ideal, but it will give us some room for building residential. And we can build out in that direction a little bit. Not the best use of space, I'll admit, but let's just get residential in here. Get some along there as well. We'll knock it down later if we need to, but we certainly have a lot of use for it. What's going on here? In other words, to prove you can convert more factories. Well, we're trying to do that anyway. That's already completed. Maxis Man we can now upgrade. Let's go to Maxis Manor, which is over here now, I remember. So we can go to this and we can add the Turbo Machine Garage, which we will put there. And now if we send Maxis Man out to, say, we could have sent him out to fight crime there, but I kind of stuffed that up. I've lost him already because this thing drives at like 100 miles an hour around the town. There he is. What is he doing? But as you can see now, his car is an awfully lot better than it was before. And we get some little superhero music as he goes tearing around the town. But now that he has this car, he can actually fight crime as well as just being able to help injured people. So we will be doing that. Let's unfollow him for the time being. So we need to get him to arrest some criminals, which we will do as soon as he gets back and we're able to send him out again, because he's currently out on patrol. Don't think there's any way to bring him back. Robotics division, yes, that's what we wanted to do. Of course, we're getting there. We're 1,500 Simodians away. Let's speed things up again. We are getting some people moving in, so hopefully we will be getting some more population. I wonder if it's worth building more population on this place. Let's try it. Let's try it and put another apartment level on. Let's try another low wealth one for the time being. Go for it. Let's see what happens. Fire department has some issues. They want us to do the big fire station, which we probably should. We can get rid of the old police station now. So let's do that. Apparently we have an abandoned building somewhere. So let's get rid of that. It was just a building fire. It wasn't a zombie attack this time. So the fire department want us to place a better fire department down. Which is certainly not a bad idea. I suppose we could now place it on this side where the police department used to be. So let us place that. We'll place it. Do we want to have the hospital later on? Possibly. We'll try and leave a little bit of space. We'll place it there. And as we've got the money, we'll do the things that we usually do. So we'll put the tower on there so we can respond a little bit more quickly to any fires. Got some fire trucks on there. We'll also put a fire marshal. We'll try and reduce the chance of us having fires, because we do seem to have a lot of fires in this city. I don't think we're going to need a hazmat truck, to be honest. But we will have one anyway, just in case. They deal with fires you get from like nuclear reactors and things like that, which isn't really going to be a problem for these guys. Not sure if anyone in the region actually has a nuclear reactor. I know that I don't, so we should be okay. So how are we doing? We're still at full speed, aren't we? We're still 2,500 behind. We are struggling a little bit to keep up with Omega. Haven't seen anybody really complaining that Omega supplies are running low, so I think we're still good there. There must be a more efficient way of producing Omega, because I think it's absolutely ridiculous to have 3 or 4 of these factories around, each with multiple production lines. They already take up so much room, and they also take up a lot of power and cause a lot of pollution, so it does seem a little bit strange needing more of them. Maybe it's just a matter of time and density, and it's just something that we've got to wait for. Which does beg the question, can we actually... No, we can't upgrade these roads anymore. Oh well, we'll just leave it and hopefully time will help us out a little. We're certainly increasing our population. We still have a big problem on this main avenue with traffic. And it's all caused by this one junction here as well. Of course, it probably doesn't help that I actually put the streetcar depot right here, so all the streetcars are constantly having to hold the traffic up to get in and out of the depot, but I certainly don't think the traffic is as bad as it was before. Fire department is certainly up and running, so let us get rid of the old one now. That will save us a bit of money. You can see we've actually got a few abandoned buildings since we last had a look around. A little tiny one there, another building fire. I think the main reason for this is just the fire department just can't get around. That's its big problem. Maxis Man, let's send him out to fight crime. Actually costs us a little bit more to do that. But we're still certainly not short of money, so I don't care too much about it. We're actually gaining less and less money towards our next upgrade. Actually see our franchise profits are actually going down, which is not a good thing at all. We're still producing lots of Omega. I mean, we certainly seem to have enough stuff coming in. Maybe again it is a case of a lack of staff at these facilities that's unable to produce enough Omega. So maybe it's not a case of actually having more factories, maybe it's a case of having more population to be able to staff the factories. It's certainly something to consider. Again, we've managed to fill another apartment level. Do we put in another mega tower, is the question. Can we afford to? Can our infrastructure handle it? Do we need more power? Do we need more sewage? We certainly need more space. I don't actually have any room. Oh, I could put one in there. Doesn't leave us with a lot of room for other stuff, does it? It's going to be a very congested little corner of the map, this. Should I put one in? Is it worth it? I think it is. I think we need the additional manpower. But we certainly need to keep our eye on things like power now. As you can see, we do have an excess, but we don't have a huge one. Not sure how much more we can upgrade this. In fact, we can't actually upgrade it at all. Our coal power plant is actually at its maximum capacity. Which means the only thing I can do is actually build another power plant. What could we do to supplement the power? I suppose we could build an oil power plant. We could go for solar. The thing is with solar, it does take up quite a bit of room. It doesn't generate all that much power, to be honest. We could go nuclear, but we don't really have an educated population. So that's probably a really bad idea. Now, apparently you can sell control net between cities, which is something I'll consider in the future. But I think for the meantime, what we will do is we will have another coal power plant, just until we get everything sort of up and running. So we'll pop another coal power plant in there. We've certainly got the coal to do it, so I'm not too worried about that. Sewage is going to struggle again as well. And of course, a lot of this all sort of contradicts itself, because you have a problem with sewage capacity. So... well, first of all, you have a problem with your power. So you add additional power stations. Then you have a problem with your sewage. So you add additional sewage processing. And although that wasn't... yeah, it was sewage. And then you have more problems with power because the sewage processing takes more power, and it all kind of goes round in a nasty, horrible circle. So, yeah. I was actually looking at the wrong one, wasn't I? I was looking at water and not sewage, so I've just gone way over there. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go in here and I'm going to turn one of these off. We've already bought it. There's no point in selling it. Oh, can we handle 2 of them off? Or is that a bit risky? Do you still have an excess? So we'll keep it at that. It's actually water, I think, that we are struggling on. Yeah, it's water. So where is our water facility? Here's our water facility. So we will put another couple of these on here. Always good to try and put them in the places that give you the most water, but... So that should certainly help out with the water problems for the considerable future. I almost forgot we had a smelting factory here. All output lots are full. Production stopped. So what do we actually have on here? We have a metal furnace. I think that's all. We don't actually have an alloy furnace at the moment. Again, partially the problem is here because the roads are so congested. It means it's very difficult for our delivery vehicles to get around. I think we can instantly invest it. We'll go for a medium level apartment here, I think, actually. But hopefully we're going to start getting enough people to be able to work the OmegaCo factories. We're certainly getting there. We are just over 200 simoleons away from being able to do that. So, Maxis Man, have you actually arrested any criminals? Probably not. So go out and do it again. Put out 4 more fires. Well, I'm sure you can do that because we do get a lot of fires here. Upgrade is now available. Brilliant. So we're going to upgrade. And we are going to add ourselves a robotics division. Obviously, which is another building. The good thing with that is it means we can pop it on the other side of the road. So now we have a robotics division. So if we go to this factory here, because we've still got some, we've still got a free space here. And we can add ourselves a drone assembly line, providing, of course, we can find... So let's just destroy crap ton of houses. So we now have a drone assembly line. But we do need to now supply it with processors. Of course, we don't have any processors here. We could potentially buy some in if we have a free lot. So, metal storage, raw storage... Where are we? There should be one for processors somewhere. Processors. So we'll build a processor storage lot. And we will... Processors are quite expensive, which is the only problem. But we will import our processors. Because this is... I'm not really building the trade ports to make profit here. Obviously, I do want to keep the city in profit. I don't want to go bankrupt. But I'm mainly building the trade ports in order to deal with the input and output of materials we need to make this little part of the city function. Obviously, I'm going to have to build an alloy furnace here at some point, which means being able to sell the alloys we make. Not sure that we necessarily need the freight on here, because we certainly don't have any freight to sell. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bulldoze the freight shipping warehouse here. And then what I will do, and I could have done this while I was in there, is go for an alloy storage lot, because we don't have one of these at the moment. And then at the smelting factory, we can add ourselves an alloy furnace. And then if we go back here and manage our global deliveries, we can take our alloys and we can export them. So we're using our ore locally. We are exporting coal and we are importing crude oil. What do we need for our next upgrade? Probably quite a lot. Yeah, we actually need to double our hourly profits. But we do have a drone assembly line. Still don't have any processors yet, so that is the biggest problem. Now the question is, where are the drones going to go? I'm hoping we don't actually need storage for them. When it says that there's a production limit of 96. It does, however, mean that we can add drones to things like our police precinct and our fire station. Obviously, we need the drones to be produced first. I'm hoping that when one of you guys... oh, we have begun the manufacture of drones. I'm hoping when one of you guys who has a city in the region eventually builds a municipal airport in one of your cities, then we'll be able to get some of the helipads going on these places as well, which will help with a few matters. So apparently we are having some sewage issues. Well, we knew it would happen eventually, but we can go straight in here and we can actually turn on the ones that we built earlier. Might as well turn them both on actually now, because that's the sewage problem sorted out instantly. Don't appear to have any other problems at the moment. So it's all good stuff. Let's have a look at the Omega factory. So we did manage to produce 10 drones so far today. Good stuff. So now that we've done that, let us consider, while we've got some money, and we have burnt through an awful lot of money. As you can see, we don't have a great deal. But what we will do is we will build a drone hangar. So I think we'll put it on this end. Let's have a drone hangar there. And we're also going to go to... I don't think they need control net. Could be wrong. No, they just need drones. That's fine. They have all of their drones. And we're going to go to the police precinct, which is on this side. And we are going to add a drone hangar to the police station. So we haven't left ourselves a lot of space to get one in. We could put it on the other side of the road, I suppose. But I think just the other side of that water tower isn't really going to cause a problem. So we now have... That says out on patrol. We now have law drones as well as fire drones. Maybe if we didn't have it on like 100 million times speed, we'd actually be able to see some of them. But at the moment, no. What about the fire ones? They're ready to respond to fires. The police ones are out on patrol. So we do have these drones now. Let's have a quick scan around and see if we can see any. What's going on here at the smelting factory? Just get some space at the trade depot and we can start selling it. We've already done it. We've got a metal storage lot to the trade depot and export metal. Do we have anywhere with a spare space? Probably not. Though we probably don't need oil here, because we've already got oil twice down here. So let's go over to this trade depot. Let us demolish the oil storage. And then, as soon as that's done, we will get one for metal. Add that there. Not enough simoleons. We're too poor. Why are we losing so much money? It's probably the amount of money that we're spending on processors and crude oil. I think we're probably quite good. Mind you, I am going to have to buy crude oil in. There's no way around that. How are we doing for coal? Got a bit of sickness. The power plants do have coal, but probably not enough to sell for the time being. I've just had some money come back in though, which is a good thing. So we'll build a metal storage lot, and we will export our metals, and hopefully make a bit of money doing that. So as soon as we start getting some export metal there, will be good. Got to put out 2 more fires. Maxis Man still needs to arrest 3 more criminals because he hasn't managed to get a single one yet. That could just mean that the police force is doing an incredibly good job. Still haven't seen... Oh, there's a drone. I wonder if that's one of our little police drones there. I can't click on it. It's moving too quickly. Now it's disappeared. It was certainly a drone and it was doing something. But where it came from and what it was doing, I do not know. There we go. So it is an OmegaCo law drone. Came from the water tower. So this is basically why you want to build a OmegaCo and why you want to build drone factories, because you can use these for your police. I think you can use them for the hospital as well. And obviously they don't struggle with congestion because they can fly, which is an absolutely brilliant idea. So that is a good start. Still need some more money coming in. Certainly still got problems with population. We've got an upgrade to Town Hall. And we've got an upgrade to the Mayor's... let's do that. There's a bit of lag there for some reason. I'm not going to add anything onto that for the time being. We are going to upgrade the Mayor's Manor though. And we can put one of these other features on because that will give us a little bit of extra happiness in the area, which is always a good thing. Did I see some abandoned buildings? No, actually good. No more zombie attacks recently. That is quite nice. How are we doing for profits? It hasn't really increased any. Still only 25,000. Although we still have a decent amount of Omega, although we are still struggling for people. So we're certainly going to have to increase people more than anything else. Right, the garbage dump's having a bit of a problem here. The garbage dump's actually becoming quite full, so I think what we're going to have to do, assuming we can afford it of course, is put on another incinerator. Now I don't really like these things because they do cause a lot of pollution, but they do help get rid of the garbage in the landfill. Sewage treatment's quite busy, but apart from that, everything seems to be doing relatively well. So I think I'm going to leave this city just to get on and do its thing, and then next time I'll probably go over to Voltford, which is my education city, and start on that, because if we can get that up as an education and tourism city, it means we'll have high wealth sims, highly educated sims for the entire region, which is a great way to help with your industry. It means you can have nuclear reactors as well. We'll eventually start trading stuff between all three of my cities and with the other guys that are playing on the region, so that we can hopefully use what we've unlocked to help each other out. Certainly need to do something about these traffic problems here. And there was one other thing then that I wanted to do, but I can't remember what it was. But I mean, once I actually get that third city up and running and we can get some expo centres there, I should be able to make a significant amount of money on that city and use that to provide wealth to the other two. So there you go, guys. Hope you're still enjoying the show. And remember, if you do want to get involved in the region, send me a YouTube message. Tell me why you want to get involved. Give me your Origin username so I can add you to my friends list, and we will go from there. So thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll see you again soon. Until then, goodbye for now.